That's it. Time to go. Cora emptied the leaves from her net into her woodland bag.
But we've only cleared the floating leaves,
said Jax.
There are still loads around the pond's edge.
Clearing the pond and the ground around it is a big task. Scarlet said we could have longer if we needed it. Cora glanced at the sky as she added the net to her bag. The dark was melting away. Soon the sun would be up, and with it the Ruffins, stomping around on their huge, pongy feet. She shivered, remembering how only a few weeks ago a Ruffin child had caught and trapped her. Luckily for Cora, her friends had found her and helped her to escape. But it wasn't an experience she wanted to repeat. Cora fixed Jax with a look. If we don't leave now, we might not make it back to the bramble door before sunrise. We'll be locked out of the hidden middle in daylight. Cora and Jax had been working on Downey Common, the furthest they'd ever been from the Whispering Woods. Scarlet had sent them there because she'd finally promoted Cora and Jax from trainees to fully trained keepers. Jax gave in. He put his net and rake in his woodland bag and then slung it on his back.
Race you home. High, low, go!
They ran across the common and sprinted through a cornfield. The corn had been harvested and the field ploughed. Cora and Jax jumped over the furrows as they ran towards a derelict barn at the field's edge. As they approached, a shape appeared in the doorway.
Ruffin!
Cora dived, flattening herself in the middle of a furrow and hoping that the earthy ridges would be tall enough to hide her. Jax landed a little way ahead of her. He wriggled back.
I thought you were tricking, he panted, 'cause I was winning.
Shh, said Cora, wondering if the Ruffin would hear them. Ruffins had funny rounded ears that didn't work as well as her own pointed ones, but even so, she forced herself to breathe slowly and more quietly.
What's he doing here? She whispered.
Scarlet said the barn wasn't used anymore. Jax raised his head a pip.
No idea. Unless he's up early to watch the sunrise. Trix and Nis saw some Ruffins up on Downey Hill when they were working there a while ago.
They should stay in their houses until daylight, grumbled Cora. Luckily, the Ruffin was going in a different direction to the keepers, heading away from the Whispering Woods. Cora stood up. Now the danger had passed, she noticed something else.
Corn at the cob with husks! Scarlet will love these!
Cora snatched up the left-behind pieces of corn, complete with long, whiskery outer leaves. She handed some to Jax and stowed the rest in her woodland bag.
Let's have a look in the barn, said Jax. See if we can work out what the Ruffin was doing there.
Jax, no. Jax ignored Cora and sprinted over. The barn door was open a little and he slid inside. Cora's chest tightened until she could hardly breathe. Ruffins spelled trouble, but Jax was her best friend. She couldn't let him investigate alone. Forcing her legs to work, she followed him inside. The barn was dusty and dark. It smelt of rotten wood, old straw and something else. Cora's stomach turned over. Ruffins! A whole family camping in the barn. Jax! Cora's trembling legs could hardly hold her up. The Ruffins were in the middle of the barn, not far from a huge ladder that reached up to a platform in the roof. 3 Ruffins, 1 woman and 2 children, plus the one that had gone for a nighttime wander. They were cocooned in long bags with hoods, and, to Cora's relief, they were all sound asleep. An empty bag, unzipped and rumpled, completed the line. Cora grabbed Jax by the arm and pointed back to the door. Jax nodded and they silently tiptoed outside.
Run! said Cora. Running!
said Jax. In the distance, a low horn sounded.
Tyr!
Cora gasped. The ancient Viking horn was a warning to the keepers to hurry home before the bramble door was shut and locked. Cora and Jax ran faster, keeping up the pace until they reached a group of other keepers with bulging woodland bags, also returning to the Whispering Woods. They tagged behind them.
Fully trained keepers,